Welcome to the latest episode of KapVista Klips. Today we are here with the team from Arkade. How are you?
Hi, Daniel.
Hey there, how you doing?
Good, good. We're going to jump straight into it. I want to find out about you. I want to find out about your background. I want to find out a bit about your experience and then what you're doing. So I'm going to throw it over to you. Give our audience an introduction. Who are you and what have you done to this point?
So I'm Josh Fuchs.
Hey guys, I'm Joel Court.
To give some context to who we are, so sometime around the mid 2010s or so, we got into the VR space. We started manufacturing headsets, which we sold at Walmart, Target, Best Buy around the United States, globally. But to be honest, as we were building this kind of VR future, the entire experience felt a little dystopian, to be honest with you. You know, I have these VR headsets all around me and I'm not wanting to play with them because essentially you find yourself disconnected from the room that you're in. You find yourself disengaged from the people that you're playing the game with. You know, you're sort of just in this helmet. And so our goal was to take the magic of VR and create a more utopian, I guess, product line that gets you up out of the couch, gets you playing, gets you engaged with the games.
Yeah, and I would add to that, here we are, it's 2026. We're hearing immersion everywhere all the time. And yet you've got the most popular genre in gaming, first-person shooters, over 1.2 billion players worldwide. And everybody's clunking around on a game controller, a keyboard and mouse. And, you've got gaming actually leaving the game room and the desk. Gaming is now in the living room. It's in your bedroom. It's standing up and moving around. And so nobody's addressing that. We know from the past that every time somebody released a gaming gun, whether it was the Nintendo Zapper or the Big Buck Hunt that came with the Wii that you'd snap your Wii controller into, every time somebody releases those, they go wild. Millions and millions of units are sold, and they only work with one game. So we thought, look, let's make the gaming gun that works with all the games. There's proven demand. We've seen it time and time again, and I think we've got something really very cool on our hands that kind of addresses that.
Yeah. I might be showing my age here, but I had Duck Hunt on Nintendo, and then I had Time Crisis with the gun. Both of them.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to kind of bring that experience back to life. I don't think I'm that much older or younger here. So I grew up also with the Duck Hunt gun in my house, playing Time Crisis, playing Turok. I love Turok the same too, Now you can find maybe something that's like a bundle of those retro games, but nobody's really made something to address the existing shooter market today. So that's kind of what brings us to here.
Yeah, so let's get into that. What have you built? What are you doing? Tell us about Arkade.
Yeah, I mean, best thing is to just probably show you guys like right out the gate here. So we have an arcade gaming gun right here. You can see it's got over 2,000 LEDs that wrap around it, or you could have full animated LED array. This gaming gun functions with all first-person shooter games. We've been building this thing out for about 4 years now. This is kind of deep R&D. It's a little bit more than just a prototype. This thing is in full production right now. We have over 40 patents on it. This thing is hard-earned getting to where this is. There's a lot of technical challenges that we ran into. We had to build out an entire engineering team to solve them. But we're here now with the solution, and we've created a gaming gun that's actually competitive against the top gaming mice and gaming keyboards.
Okay. So this works in all first-person shooters. So you're not pigeonholed into one game. This is available for everything. So your target market is huge.
Massive. Yeah, I think like 1.2 billion gamers are doing FPS gaming.
Wow. Okay, so where are you at? You said you're in a production run. What does the next 12 months look like?
Next 12 months is launch. So within the next 2 months, we're in full production. Over the next 2 months, we're finishing up our molds right now. And by September, we'll be fully launched. So Q3 this year, Q4 this year, the product launches. We've been in a sort of R&D mode for the last few years, getting this built up. But we have created some previous prototypes that we got out there, that we got tested. We drummed up some interest. And now we're sort of ready. We know what we're doing. And we've sort of lined everything up very strategically. So, for example, we just recently acquired Solutions to Go is a distributor here in the United States, one of the largest ones. They're going to be distributing our product at retail. We have European distributors lined up, marketers lined. The whole thing is kind of ready to go, basically at this point, and everyone's going to start hearing about us by Christmas. That's the plan.
That's the period that you want to be in, because Christmas is a massive opportunity for your space. Gaming, toys, everything. That's the pinnacle. That's where you want to aim it. So let's go take a step back for a second. How does it work? If I'm a parent, I like games, but my kids are the ones that I'd be buying it for. How does it work? How does it work with their games, right?
Yeah, the best thing about it is it's completely plug and play. You literally just plug the plug in. There's a bit of calibration for the gyroscope the first time you use it, and then you're kind of just running at the races right there. The computer thinks that you've merely connected a keyboard and a mouse. It has no idea that you've connected this other new product that it doesn't know what it is. And so from its point of view, you've just connected a keyboard and mouse, and it works just as easily had you plugged in a new mouse.
Okay, so it connects to your computer as standard, and then it acts like it's one of these, and the game doesn't know otherwise, right? So that's on that aspect, it's compatible with all games, but from a user perspective, walk me through that. How is it different? What's the appeal? Because I know from my youth, I loved the first person shooters. I loved the game. For someone who isn't exposed to this industry but understands how consumers buy, walk me through that. How does it change the gameplay?
Oh, I mean, the first thing is you stand up to play.
Yeah.
Just kind of like by default. This is about active gaming. So, I mean, that's kind of the first thing. I think, in the most abstract, literally down to your posture is kind of shifted by this game. Like, you're suddenly not this, you're this. So I think the impact actually kind of extends out larger than that. We're sort of addressing existing markets as well as new markets. There's ways to activate new player bases and appeal to older ones. Where do people play their video games in 2026? It's not all in one place. It's not all on your PC. It might be in your living room, in your bedroom, at a friend's house. With the cloud systems that are out there, the diversity of the consoles and other systems, people are playing in different ways in different setups. And we appeal to a really wide swath that's been kind of ignored. So that's everyone who loved the action of like a Wii controller, let's say, all the way up to people who like sort of the more precision, immersive feel of, say, like a race car wheel or something like that, where you're really getting to kind of simulate the actual gameplay experience.
Yeah, I would like to say something about the embodied interaction here. When people pick up the gaming gun, it's completely intuitive. We get people trying this product that would never in a million years play a first-person shooter on a PC. They wouldn't know the first thing to do. But here we are. People pick up the gun and they know exactly what to do, and I think it just speaks to it's the embodied interaction. It's what you want to do when you're playing a shooting game. Everybody knows it, and so that's what we've been able to do here, and it's very exciting.
Okay. I can add to we just did a bunch of play testing at GDC recently that kind of confirmed that. That is like the experience that we're having is for people that the time to first kill, let's call it. You've just picked up this new device. How long until you actually get a kill in the game you're playing? Ours is the lowest of anything, lower than a game controller, lower than a mouse because of that. Not to ruin the fun here, but you just point it at the thing you want to shoot and then you shoot. It's as simple as that. And so you get your first kill so quickly, you find yourself very sucked in, and we had a hard time prying this out of people's hands, to be honest with you. So that was a good sign.
Yeah, that's very true. The gaming gun is set up with a charging dock, so it can kind of rest on your desk like this, and we did that so that you could put it just beside your mouse. The idea is that you could just very easily pick it up and start a shooting game. There's no long setup process.
You could jump in and out of it. Unlike a VR headset, it was like you have to kind of get dressed up like Darth Vader. You know, you got to put the helmet on, the dark cape, all that kind of stuff. But this is not that. It's just sitting like right there. It looks really cool on your desk. You take it up, you start shooting, snipe a few people, you know, make a sarcastic joke and put it back.
So recently at the Game Developers Conference, you know, we were demoing this product, and one guy said, you know, after playing for 15 or 20 minutes with the gaming gun, it just felt lame to go back to a keyboard and mouse, knowing that you have this peripheral, you know, right in front of you. It's just not cool anymore once you've got this. And so, you know, we got that sense from a lot of people, and you should have seen the lines of people, you know, trying to demo the item.
Yeah. Okay. So let's switch to the business side. What is the price point for something like this? And you said that the target market is about 1.2 billion people, because that's how many people play games on the planet. So what's the price point? How do you get that market entry?
Yeah, so it will retail for $300, $299.99, and mainly, you know, we're going to be pushing it on our website and through our social media channels, TikTok, Instagram. There's going to be a big focus on direct sales, and we've got a master plan for staffing up and creating the kind of organization that can really handle that from the inside, which is something that we feel we must do. We have to have control over that. On the brick and mortar side, as Josh mentioned, we've got relationships with one of the largest video game and accessory distributors in America. They're called Solutions to Go. And there's another one that we work with in Europe. They're called Explore Distribution. Their job is mainly to get our item on all of the online marketplaces out there, so that, you know, when you search arcade gun, you know, you're going to get the Best Buy link coming up, or you know, or whatever country you're in. And you know, the thing is, they're experts in their local markets, especially the guys in Europe. And so, you know, they're going to have stock locally. When people order product, it'll arrive in 2 days or less. That's really important to us, the whole customer experience. So we're very focused on that.
Okay, great. Now, you're obviously raising capital. How much are you raising? What's the use of funds for?
We are asking for $5 million right now. Our plan is to take it to market. So most of this is going towards the staffing up Joel was mentioning, marketing plan, go-to-market strategy, getting inventory out there. We've de-risked this as best as possible by spending our time and effort, you know, developing this the last few years, testing it, making sure this thing is actually fun, actually works, on all the rest of it. Now the money that we're raising is about putting it into the marketplace, and that's how it's all getting spent.
Okay, great. Now, for something like this, and I'm wearing my, you know, investor hat on, because I'm looking at this, and now if you don't understand the nuances of the gaming, you know, industry, it may look like that it's you know, that price point $299 is rather, you know, it's well positioned, because I know people who've spent, you know, tens of thousands of dollars on their gaming setup, right? You know, people who are into games spend money, but even if you're not into games, and it is just like for me, for my kids, to give you a comparable here in Australia, the VR headset for PlayStation, the PS5, is about $800, right? So the VR system for PS5 is $800. Yours is $300. So even you know, in Australia, if we do the conversion, because I think that's USD, Australia, that's $450. That is a lot less. Like a normal controller in Australia is, you know, a normal PS5 controller in Australia, I think, is about $150, right? So for a normal controller, $150. For a gun, you know, that changes the gaming experience at $300. It's well, like that's pretty conservative prices. That's not, you know, exponential. So this is something that young and old will be interested in, whether you're a young kid or you're you know, an old gamer, or even family. You know, this is you know, from an investor's point of view, there is demand there. You look at what the gaming industry does, and we're only at the tip of the iceberg. Gaming is going to be, you know, absolutely massive. So if investors are looking at this, $5 million for a company that's put a lot of time, effort, and money into R&D, and now you're at the point where it's ready to distribute, this is a in my opinion, a no-brainer. Right? It's a very, very good opportunity. Anything that you want to add from your side to investors who are watching this? Any wins? Anything that you want to that you think investors should know?
Yeah, I would say, just from the experience that we've had so far in selling the first 2 iterations of this type of product, the reactions that we've had from the Game Developers Conference recently, I'm confident that people want to buy this product. They are looking for new gaming peripherals to upgrade their arsenal with, and they want stuff for their gaming setup, and they're looking for the coolest kind of gear out there. And I think we have it. There's other peripheral companies out there that come out with a new mouse every year or a new keyboard every year. But I think that we're really thinking about the space differently. I think that we've been able to kind of appreciate the trajectory of kind of where gaming is going. We have kind of a mantra in the company. It says it doesn't matter where you game, it matters how you game. And that's because the games are on all the platforms now. So we've really tried to take that to heart. And I think the people out there are receptive to it. They really see it. And from what we can see, they're excited about it.
I'd love to add too. I mean, if we're talking to to investors specifically, I think an important thing we haven't talked about is our team, the expertise that we bring here. The product is awesome, but that's not all that's awesome about Arkade. Our experience of bringing these kind of products to market goes back over 10 years. We have combined total of pushing on a century of experience at this point. Selling into retail, selling globally, manufacturing in China. The partners that we've created along the way are top tier. We have the top analysts in gaming on our board. We have our own factory from China as a deep investor in our company. Our experience in China, we have an entire showroom in China, in Shenzhen, thanks to the participation of our factory. So the people that work with us tightly. Our expertise has been really honed in this space. We come from toys, then we go to VR, and now we're in this sector here. So we really know what we're doing. And I think that's just important for investors to understand too.
Amazing. I'm not going to take too much more of your time. Thank you very much for jumping on. This has been great. Anybody who's watching this episode that wants to find out more, please reach out to my team and we can connect you directly with the Arkade team. Thank you very much, guys. It's been great.
Hey, thanks, Dan. That was great. Thank you so much, Daniel. That was awesome.
Thanks, Daniel. Take care, buddy.
Thank you.